Hey guys, welcome to this second test route video for Barking Turner Street. So this is going to be episode number 2. I did one a couple of years ago. I believe that was 2021. So it's time to finish it up. So I'm trying to take a race with the rain. So see what we can get done before it starts to rain, because I'd like to have it without rain. So yep. So you've got to be careful if you have Barking, because you've got two of them. You've got Barking Turner Street and you've got Barking Keys. So be careful, make sure you go to the right one. Now if you've never been to Barking before, if you've never been to the test center for Barking Turner Street before, there is no parking facility at this test center. So you're gonna have to park on this double yellow line, or sorry, on this single yellow line here, just around here. And the test center is just at the end of those terrace buildings here. So keep that in mind. One person might have to sit in the car, otherwise you might end up with a ticket. So you want to keep that in mind. Okay, checking. Right is clear after this blue car, and the left is clear right now. So make sure you go all the way into your lane. Don't confuse yourself with this side of the road. It's not a bus lane. I've had a learner do that once and sitting on the right hand lane there, so don't make that mistake. Okay. So at the traffic light, we'll be turning left. So keep in mind, if this is if you haven't done Barking before, you haven't done the test route before, then I'm hoping this video is going to help you see what the area looks like. Now this is not my main test center, so there will be some things that I might not be able to give you advice on what to do. So maybe you might want to just show the video to your instructor, and they might be able to help you if this is their own base. But I'm hoping we'll be able to deal with everything, and I can give you my opinion and everything. So yep. Okay, light is changed. Now be mindful of that second light, so don't forget it. Now it's green, then we can continue. So those are two separate lights. Look out for the second one. Barking generally is a busy area, so if you're driving here and you're having your test here, be mindful of that. Look out for pedestrians, especially at this time. So the time right now is actually 2:57. So let's say we started the test about 2:55 p.m. in the afternoon. So if you're having your test around 2:32, because I know there is always a test at that time, then this is what the area looks like just about around that time. Now I shouldn't have blocked this area, but luckily I've got space now. So try and keep the crossings clear if you can. Don't block it, especially if you're in traffic. There is no point. So keep the islands clear so that if there is traffic, pedestrians can just help themselves through and cross if they can. There seems to be slight traffic at the moment because of the time, so it's getting to rush hour now. And as you can see, you'd have school kids out on the road now. So pay attention, scan the road around. Don't get your mind focused just on one thing. keep it open, sweep around the road. So as you can see now, there's traffic. Now, if this happens on your test, depending on how long this traffic would be, your examiner could decide to take you around another route. So if they intended to come on this route, for example, and there's heavy traffic, now the good thing is examiners know what areas are like at certain times, so which is why maybe perhaps they'll take you through another route. So maybe this might not be a perfect route for this time of the day, but during less busy time, they might use this route. And that's just the way it works. There are routes that they would not use at certain times. So when someone says, oh, you're more likely to go on this route in the morning, yeah, that's right, because they would avoid certain routes at certain time just because of the traffic. I know there's another route just on the other road behind us, which is past where you turn right. That might seem like a more probable route for this time of the day, but I did that before. I think that should be test route number 1. That would be that route. Well, I can't remember. I think that's the one. I've been there before. Well, so far the traffic is not too heavy though. So if this was the intended route, I see no reason why it shouldn't continue. It's not such a heavy traffic. We're still moving. And with this traffic, the sat nav is estimating that we should be arriving back at the test center at about 3:36. So that would be about 34, 35-ish minutes, or even 36. So yep. You've got school here. The school kids are out. Remember, look out for them. So as you can see, this is what this area would look like when the school is closing. It does get busier than this, much busier than this. So you want to really pay attention to all those vehicles there with their door opening here and there. And this guy is reversing to park here. So again, there you go. These are some of the hazards you're going to have to deal with if you're doing your test at this time. Okay, so we're just gonna give the bus some time. There we go. We've got enough space. Seriously. So as you can see there, yeah, she's reversed and couldn't fit herself in, but she's just moved off without looking around over her shoulder. So when you're gonna move off in situations like that, be cautious about it. Be prepared to stop in case of situations like that. So turning right, the next road. Now don't forget, slow down. Check if there's traffic here, you can actually slow down a lot more and use the hatch marking to get yourself into this bay, or sorry, into this space, so that you're not hanging the back end of the car in the road and obstructing those going straight ahead. But bear in mind, if there is more traffic and you have to be there, that's not your fault. I'm just saying if you could get yourself there. So we're turning right here again. So again, I would use the hatch because it's a very small space. It's clear. Then remember to look out for the speed signs. Sometimes some residential roads can actually be 30, so don't always assume it's 20. But look out for the speed signs as it changes so that you are aware of the speed limit for the roads you're driving on. Okay, so we're coming back into a 30 zone, and I don't know if you noticed that 30 sign is faded. That's a test, by the way. So yeah, the sign is faded as you come out of the road, so be aware of that on your test. I mean, situations like that, I'm assuming examiners would tell you or would let you know, because that wouldn't be your fault if you don't notice that sign. But if you look out properly and you're actually relaxed and you're looking for it, you should realize that that sign is there and it's just faded. So yep. So the car in front of me, the driver is on a test at the moment. Good luck. Let's hope he or she passes. So from what I'm observing right now, it's not a difficult route. It's just that that's a fair right. So here is an example of a bad decision at the junction, perhaps lack of proper observation. Now the blue car had a signal on turning right, and the bike was actually just out of the van on the right hand side of the road, and that driver should have seen that bike or the cyclist. But unfortunately, it looks like the driver was paying attention to the blue car on the left while creeping forward into the road. And this is quite very common when drivers get to junctions. So you're paying attention to your left and you start creeping forward, forgetting to pay more attention to the side of the road where the visibility is less, or perhaps where the hazard is going to be closer to you. Because keep in mind that if anything happens from the left, you'd have more time to react to that compared to anything happening on your right, because you're closer to those vehicles on the right. So keep this in mind at junctions like this. Stop and do proper observation, and make sure before you start creeping forward, look towards the direction you're going to, or at least towards the direction where your visibility is less. So unfortunately, I believe that would be a fail for that driver on that particular test, as you notice that that was a driving test in progress. So lots of meeting situations through these roads because of the parked cars on both sides. So if you're not good with meeting traffic, then you want to practice that, because you're going to have very similar situations on Barking Test Route. Okay. Right, he's on the phone, so at this light you want to keep to the left lane because the right lane is turning right only. So look out for the floor markings so that you put yourself in the correct lane. Now if you look across here, it's crazy how they've done here. Now you need to be on the left lane here, but as you cross the light you've got to go into the right lane because ahead of us you can see another floor marking there with the left lane turning left only and only going ahead for the right lane. So make sure to keep that in mind and be aware of drivers on the side, because I can imagine drivers who stay around here and know the area well might as well just stay in the right lane from here just to go straight ahead. So as you get yourself into the right lane, be very cautious of drivers in the right lane so that you are aware of what they're doing and you can plan yourself for that. Okay, pay attention to that, kid. Here you go. Good. And then back into the right to continue straight. If you end up here too late, too long, just stay on the left lane and go left. That's what I would do. If you go straight in that lane on the left, you would get a serious fault. From my experience, mostly going to be a serious fault. Now be very careful as well with the sat nav. Don't actually believe what the sat nav tells you as regards to the speed limit every time, because sometimes the sat nav is wrong, and I know some examiner would let you know, they would remind you that the sat nav is not always accurate with the speed signs, so be careful with that. That's one door open. Check your right, keep a bit more right if you can, and slow down to give you time. So we're taking the next road on the right. The test route is not long, it's just a busy road because we've got about what, 20 minutes or so to go. So again, another meeting situation, which is, again, like I said, is very common. So this is it right there. As you can see, you would have to be aware of things around you. The hazards are real. Now that lady was about to jump into the road with her son. Oh yeah. So we're continuing straight. So I'm going to change to the right lane here now, because looking past the traffic light, there are parked cars ahead, so there's no point staying in the left lane as you approach this traffic light. So if you can't, keep to the right lane and just continue straight in the right lane. Yeah, it is busy on this route. Really busy. So next traffic light ahead again, you can see right lane is turning right only. So if you're going to be continuing straight ahead as we are, then make sure you're in the left lane. So where are we going here? We're going straight. Whoa, that is crazy. Now on a test, that would be a serious fault, of course, as you can see. So those are things you should not do. Make sure just continue straight, even if it means missing a turn. Just miss that turn and go straight. Alright, so no signal from that side, so continue straight. Look out for drivers on the left here. Some of them might push themselves further than they should, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm taking a second road, which is at the roundabout. So right turn at the roundabout. So there's no sign at the entrance of this road, which means the road is still 30. So that doesn't mean you can do 30. It just means you can at least drive above 20 if it's safe. So I'm taking the second road on the left. So again, I'm looking at the signs. There is no speed sign, but there is a one-way sign. So which means this road again is still 30, but then it's a one-way. So you can just stay in the middle of the road as you drive through. So as you can see, I'm doing 22 miles an hour. That's because the road is 30, but you can't do 30 safely here, but you can at least do 21, 22 also, but you can't be doing 15 miles an hour, for example, when it's safe to do 20, 21. So here you've got mini roundabout, but remember it's a very narrow road, so feel free to drive over the paint. That's the only option you've got. If you try to go around it, it could be misleading to think you're going straight, or if you swerve so much to the left, it could also mislead someone that you're going to turn left. So just approach the middle of the roundabout and take your turn. Here is another one. Okay, just position yourself well enough to the left. There you go. Wow. So at least she made contact. She can see the danger as she takes it. Now you can see that lady, no contact, no eye contact at all. No thank you, nothing. She's just gone into it. So these are the things you've got to look out for if you're driving on this road. It's it's a pain that you're gonna have adults crossing the roads the way they do on this road, but trust me, they do it a lot in these areas. So you've got to pay attention and be very careful. As you can see, that was just two situations right there. One was a pedestrian just jumps in the road, no courtesy whatsoever, and then you've got the other driver. Now the other lady jumps in, but at least she's looked in. She shouldn't have gone through, but she's admitted it and she's apologized or say thank you for being patient with me, unlike the other one. But that's the point. These are the dangers or the hazards you're gonna have to deal with, and you've got to be in control of it because you're meant to be the driver. So you've got to make the right calls in situations like this. Now, if something is beyond your own control, examiners would see. They're sitting here, you know. Although, don't get me wrong, if you're unlucky and you have someone who is not in the best of mood, then it's a different story. But yeah, in most cases, the examiners are going to be assessing things based on who's at fault. If it's you who has failed to be aware and take precautions, or if it's the pedestrians who are just being silly. So this is what you're gonna have to deal with if you're driving on these roads at this time of the day. If you're taking a test at this time, I would emphasize again, pay attention, but don't get too worked up about it though, and then you're just paying attention on one. Just looking out for people and you forget the cars, or looking out for cars and you forget the people. Just be relaxed so that you can, you know, be generally minded on everything happening around you. Watch that car reversing. As you can see, that's not safe. Oh, there you go, and that's one. Yeah. So I mean, this is it. As a learner, you know you shouldn't be reversing like that with a car passing you and you're steering already. So the front end of the car is obviously now swinging into the road, becoming a hazard to passing vehicles. And this is just it. But yeah, this is what some drivers do. So as you can see, the cyclist in front of me, there's no way I can pass safely right now. So just be patient so that you give him enough space as you pass. So there you go again. It doesn't even care really, and he's just snaking around the road. So we've been driving for how many seconds now, or how many minutes now? You know, maybe just about 30 minutes now. So we're coming to the end of the test route. So I'm gonna use this road to turn right so that I can go back around. But if it was your test, you probably just go straight and you pull up on one of the road. The test center is just ahead over there. So okay, I'm gonna wait for the van. Right, I'm gonna pull up here and end the test route here. So like I said, if you were having your test, you would have gone straight over there and then your test would end over there. But for us, it ends here, and I'm gonna go straight into episode number 3. So that's it. I hope you find this useful, and don't forget, click the like button, leave a comment below if you have any question whatsoever, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button.